Welcome back to Reggie's Cooked into Life's Lessons. Today I am cooking a Peruvian dish, Peruvian Lomo Saltado. Don't ask me to say that twice in a row, but in fact I need to turn my fire on because and as you see, folks, I took in, did all the prep before. Well, I didn't cut the meat, but I got this beautiful piece of sirloin here. And again, with the Peruvian Lomo Saltado, we needed the vegetable oil. That's for frying the French fries, because this dish comes with served with French fries and rice. The sirloin steak, salt and pepper to season it to taste, a red onion, tomatoes, red onion, tomatoes, and all this stuff. In fact, I'll do it like this. I'll say red onions. And then now you'll see me chopping the red onions in the box for the prep. Then I'll say this pepper here. Oh my God, I don't know the name of this pepper. It's a little pepper, this pepper. But of course, that is sliced up. I'll have the name right. I'll get the name right. Some scallions and yellow orange bell pepper. Again, all this stuff, and cilantro, fresh cilantro. And in fact, I'm not even going to put it onto the other camera because, again, of me prepping this will be in the smaller box. And of course, I have some garlic, and I took in minced up some ginger to throw into it. But first, the first thing I did was blanch these potatoes. I chopped the potatoes, Yukon, into French fries. And then blanching them is when I mean by putting them in warm salt water so that they wouldn't lose their color. Now, at this point, I am to take, because I'm going to drain the water off of it, I'm taking them and I'm going to transfer them into this because we're going to fry these potatoes just for a minute, so and then we're going to wind up refrying them. Again, this is Peruvian Lomo Saltado. Okay, so now I'm putting this, taking them out of the water that was blanching them to that was keeping them from losing their color. Okay, so that is dumped over there, and we'll just let the water drain off of these. Okay, so these are going, I have the grease on over here, so when I dip them in there, they'll be ready. Of course, I have a mixture of soy sauce, and actually asked me to put Amarillo sauce, Amarillo sauce in here. But I couldn't even find Amarillo sauce. So actually what I did, I substituted it with a sweet ginger sesame seed sauce. That's what I did. So I had, and white vinegar. Soy sauce, sesame seed, and the white vinegar is what I have in here. Okay, so again, you've seen the prep, because this would be time consuming for you to just watch me do all that. But this piece of meat, I wanted you to see me cut this piece of meat. This is a beautiful piece of meat, and so I'm cutting this into strips. I'm going to cut this into strips like this. This is a tenderloin. Sirloin, yeah. fact, what I'm going to do, I'm going to, well, you see me cutting it. So this is how we're doing this. I'm just, as I'm waiting for the grease to heat up so I can drop the French fries into that oil. And then that's going to be put to the side, as you'll see, as we will move along. Wow, this is a beautiful piece of meat. Look at this. Look at this. This looks good. And I'm still going to cut this into smaller pieces, but I'm cutting into strips. Man, this is going to be a tasty dish. My last conversation was about pessimism, and being pessimistic. Now, what I said was what goes with that is optimism. So I'm going to try to say something about being optimistic. But this is a very quick meal, you know, the way this works out. So we'll see how much I can get into that conversation as I'm doing this dish. And now, so since I have this pretty much cut the way I want it, I'm going to throw the fries into this oil. Now that I've cut this, I'm still going to cut it just a little bit more. But look at this meat. Now I'm going to throw my fries into this grease because the grease should be hot by now. And I'm not going to fry them to a crisp yet because I'm just going to blanch them with the hot oil. Look at this, guys. Look at this. This meat looks right, and I gotta cook it right so that when you bite into it, because this is going to be cooked on a high heat, so it's not going to take long to cook. And what you don't want to do is cook it till it's tough, because this is a nice piece of meat. This is sirloin. And we turned that big piece of meat into these little pieces of Peruvian Lomo Saltado. I've been saying it a lot today. So sometimes I'm going to say it the correct way, and sometimes I'm going to be a little off. But I guess this is one of those times where you get more of the cooking lesson than a lot of talk about different things. I do want to see if I can get optimism into it, but again, this is such a speedy meal. I don't want to fall behind. Okay, we see the meat is chopped up. We see all these beautiful colored veggies that I have all prepped for this. So again, what I'm going to do now is I'm just throwing the French fries in there. I'm going to only throw them in there for a minute. Woo-wee! Now you want to throw them in there with the grease hot like this. And again, I don't want them to, I'm not trying to fry them up yet because I'm going to refry these. So I'm going to take them off the fire, let them sit in this oil for just a little bit, because they're sizzling. Again, we're going to refry these. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take them off the fire. These are blanchered, so I'm taking them off the fire, and I'm going to spread them on the cookie sheet so that they cool down. Now, of course, these were potatoes, the Yukon potatoes, that I cut into French fries myself, which you saw in the prep. And I'm just going to pour this grease into another pot because I'm still going to use it. Now, so we have that wok there. Now, what I'm going to do is, let me turn the fire back on. And again, like I said, we're cooking at a high heat. This is where I throw the meat into the pot. Now, I'm not going to do anything with the meat right now. I'm just letting it sit on the heat. I'm flipping it so that all the pieces can get hit by the heat. Whew. I've been working on this meal because you see all the prep that I've been doing, so that's all I can say. You know, and again, it's not a long meal to cook, but once you get the prep together, then I believe that it's all good. I'm watching my meat. Now these are going to go, they have an order to go in. I'll be right back. I'm going to line my dishes up so that I have the order that they go in, and the meat should be ready by then. Reggie's Cooked into Life's Lessons. Subscribe. We're doing Peruvian Lomo Saltado. I'm back, folks. This is really such a quick dish that I have to I can't talk about the optimism, but being optimistic is seeing the brighter side of things, seeing the victory in the things we do, and believing that things are going to get better, and we can make them better. That much I can say. But for the order of the way I got this thing going, the peppers go in. I got the peppers in. Now I'm going to throw in the garlic. And let this cook in the pot for a minute with the meat. Now I had a lot of meat in there, and of course I didn't realize how much meat I had in there, so I took some of the meat out of the pot. But I know, because in fact I have a lot of ingredients here. I believe the cilantro, some cilantro goes next. So I'm going to just drop some cilantro in there. Now I'm mixing this stuff, but I have more than I need to put in the pot. So that's why we're at where we're at. Oh yes, you know this is going to have the place smelling fantastic. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Look at that. Look at that pot. Look at that pot. That pot looks good. Now we're going to go with everything is cooking on a high fire, so it's really cooking pretty fast. And now we're going to go with the bell peppers. And like I say, I do have more ingredients than I need here. So all of it doesn't have to go into the pot. Now the soy sauce and vinegar and the sweet ginger sesame, the sauce that I have, that gets poured into there. OMG. That. It looks, oh my God, this looks great. Now, of course, now the scallions go in. Of course, I'm not going to pour them all in, because I have, there you go. Now I'm tossing this stuff around. I'm going to make sure I throw the ginger up in there. I'm going to move this stuff to the side so that I can set up the dish so we can see what it looks like as a finished product. Now, in goes the tomatoes. Mmm. 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 The color. Oh. Oh. And it is cooking. And it has sauce down in here. So I'm trying to flip everything so it gets all that flavor. I almost want to cover that up and let it simmer into itself. Peruvian Lomo Saltado. Peruvian Lomo Saltado. Now, I'm going to let that be doing its thing, and actually I'm going to turn the grease over here on. So it can get hot so that I can dip the French fries that I had blanched in the hot grease until it fries to a crisp, and I can have my presentation. The grease is hot, so I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut away, drop the fries, and fry them up till they're golden brown, and set the plate up, because that's next. That is the dish. That is the dish. I'll just leave these here. I guess I can leave them there. They're not hurting anything. And that's out of the way, and have my plate here, and we'll conclude on this cooking lesson. Peruvian Lomo Saltado. Well, all the pots are off. It's time to prepare this dish to give my presentation. I took the fries off, so I don't want to miss the part showing you the part where we sprinkle the salt on the fries, and of course we put them on some paper towel so that the grease can drain off. But they go on the plate like this. And guess what? It is Mother's Day. So, I know it looks like I'm here by myself. I am in the kitchen by myself. But I am not here alone. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Look at that. Look at that. So now this goes like this. OMG. Put some of that flavor on those fries. This is how this is served. Now, normally you would see me take a bite. Not going to do that today. I am going to go wish my wife Happy Mother's Day. Subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Thank you for being with me. Love you guys.